to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
All right, here we go.
I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to DeaconLive.
Where's my list? I gotta find my list. Did it print? I don't know if it printed or not. No, it didn't print. I'll try it again. Just when I thought I was all ready and everything. All right, let's try this again. Welcome back, guys. On today's show, why Tesla drivers are paying more for insurance and how to pick out the right ham this year. And you want to win the lottery? Go ahead and move to California, and a golfing date goes horribly wrong. All this and much, much more we discuss here. Welcome to Deacon Live. And for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you up to date on social news and stories you might have missed from the past 7 days or so. How are you? How are things going? Are you doing okay? Are you getting ready for Christmas? That's the main thing. You're ready for Christmas? Got all the little presents picked out? You got everything coming in via mail? I did absolutely no inbox store shopping, and I say that with a big asterisk at the top of that. I did go to Walmart because, we're in the middle of nowhere out here in beautiful Marshville. Yeehaw! Population 2,500 people. Yeehaw! That's what we do out here. But I went to Walmart, Town Killer, and I got like stocking stuffers and little odds and ends stuff, but not like major purchases and stuff. And I said a few weeks back about a story about, how Walmart is trying to be Amazon and trying to be more advantage of Amazon because they have a physical brick and mortar store. They got the 1-2 punch. If you need to get toilet paper and you're out getting a bag of coffee or whatever it is, you can get it all in the same place. You don't have to wait, whatever the delivery time is, like for Amazon. Even though it says same day delivery, not out here. It's next day, if anything, which is still great. I need it now. I need it right now. But Walmart online has so many cool things and at good prices. I literally, while I was shopping, I had the Amazon website open on one side. You know how you do the snap screen on your PC? And I had the Walmart on the other side. And I'm like, okay, what am I getting my wife? I'm going to get her this. And I type it in over at Walmart and I look and I go, okay, they got it there. And it's, $116.99. So then I go to Amazon and they've got it for $115.99. And then I'm looking, I'm like, all right, what's the big difference? When's it going to be here? I'm doing this back and forth like I'm trading stock or something like that. I'm going, okay, if I order this one will be here by Thursday, but this one, if I have a problem, I can return it back to the store. But Amazon, I'd have to take it and drop it off, and then it has to take, however much time to get the return back on that. That's a 3-day return to get my money back on that. This one's instant return, but I know she's going to like it. So, and it's just this weird complex but all my shopping was done online. And my wife said the other day, she opened up the front door and there's like a pile of boxes out there, from Walmart and a couple from Amazon. And she's like, you really did all your shopping online, didn't you? I go, yeah, babe, because the stuff that my wife wants, they don't offer it here in this area. The things that I say that she wants, I don't want only the best. I want the greatest, the shiniest, the most expensive. No, she's not like that. But the things that I think that she would be interested in, they don't sell. There's a study that shows that you're only as smart and as bright as the environment that you live in. So when you have an environment that only offers you 20 items and, the local grocery store only has 20 items, those are the things that you have to make do with. But when you have the internet, the wild internet, and so there's so many other things that she hasn't seen or doesn't know about. And So I get those. Oh my God, where did you find this? Well, bought it online, babe. Walmart carries this. I'm like, yeah, they do. So, but there's one thing that I hate doing is shopping off a major website. And when I say a major website like Amazon or Walmart, we did get a couple things from Home Depot, the big box stores. I ordered something for my wife, and it's one of those off-site things. It's a reputable company, but, it might be based out of Bangladesh type thing. And I order it, and I'm like going, oh, when's it going to be here? And I'm looking at the dates, and, they ask you 50 million questions because they don't know who you are. They don't have the resources to protect themselves from scammers or fake identities or anything like that. This phone is going to drive me crazy. It's been going off all day today. So I'm flipping you over. If you're trying to call me during the show, tough shit. You got to wait an hour. So, and you'll be okay. But, so this company out of Bangladesh, or wherever they're from, I'm just saying Bangladesh because everyone can go, oh yeah, that's a really far country. And they're trying to protect themselves. So they ask you, credit card name and whatever, and then your email address. And then they go, okay, we're going to send you the thing because it's not like Etsy or anything like that. But I did order something a little personal for her. So they have to email me and they said, is this what you want? And you have to look at it and go, okay, yeah, the I needs to go over there. the whatever needs to go over there. And that, and then you have to send that back. Well, here's the thing. When I signed up, it automatically grabbed my Gmail account, my business Gmail account. And hold on, my personal Gmail account. And I don't read that one because it's all junk. It's all spam and stuff. Everything comes forwarded through my business account, which is DeaconLive at ProfitRadio.com. If you want to email me, you can do that. And everything filters through that into a certain account. So it was sending emails to an account that I don't even check. So I'm like looking at the tracking going, why isn't this thing shipping? Why isn't this thing shipping? It's stuck in manufacturing or something like that. Or production is what they said. And I go, well, let me open up my Gmail account because I don't open it because they always send me emails saying, hey, your Gmail account's full for $9.99 a month. You can, so I just ignore that thing, just let it fill up and overflow. I don't care. But what is going on here? Why is everything so difficult this morning? So it said, first of all, the credit card was not correct that I used. I'm like, shit. It had her name on it, but my account number. So I had to fix that. Then the second thing is I had to, look at the final product and go, I agree. Yes, that's what I want. Go ahead and start production on that. But I bought this thing 5 days ago, and here we are, the 20th, going into the holidays. I don't know if they're going to have it manufactured and made and to our doorstep. So now I'm having to rely on, which I don't know if it's poor taste. I've done it many times before, and my wife kind of yelled at me. Not really yelled at me, kind of go, well, all right, well. I ordered a bunch of stuff, and it took way too long to get here at the time. So I basically did the whole print out the picture, wrap the picture up, and let her open the picture. I know it sucks on Christmas Day, and you're trying to open up presents, and all you have is all these 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper laying around of stuff you're going to get. Oh, look, isn't this great? I'm going to get this in about 4 or 5 days or so. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. Can I get you some cake, some punch and pie or something? But everything came in this time, except for this one item. So let me know if you've ever done that before, where you just print pictures out and you give them to your, whoever the present's for, and are they okay with that? I want to know your response for that. And the way you get that into me, you can be podcast famous. Go over to Profit Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the bottom of the page says Be Heard. Click on the mic. Click on that. Opens up a microphone. Speak right into it. You can be anonymous if you want. No problem at all. And we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. We've only got, I think, one more podcast, one more show before the end of the year. And don't forget, while you're over at the Be Heard section, get your New Year's predictions in, and then we'll play them. We'll play them the first week of the new year, or I don't know. I haven't figured that one out. I'm letting them pile up. If it gets too big, I'll play them on the next show and the one the next two shows, if that makes any sense. So get yours in now. We do predictions of what's going to happen in 2024. We don't do New Year's resolutions. So get your predictions in now, and you can be podcast famous. Tell us your name, where you're from, and what your prediction is, and that's the format you need to follow. All right, guys, we got a lot to get into, a lot to talk about, and this young lady right here is going viral because she refuses to buy Christmas presents for one of her kids, and her reasoning behind it, I kind of agree with, and I'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm recording. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? How about something for the little kiddies for their Christmas stocking? The way you do that and get them something, you can get it in now if you order it now. I say order it now. Go sign up now for it. Go to Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. And at the top of the page says free swag. Fill that out. Pick out one of the little prize packs you'd like there. Prophet Radio sponsors a lot of different podcasts. Great broadcasting over there. Different podcasts from different aspects and stuff. So pick out what you want. Just put your name in there. It's not email grab, just the way to say thank you for listening to all the great programming here at Prophet Radio. Now, my dad, we asked for, Christmas Eve dinner. My wife and I, before my dad moved in, we used to have, we go out and pick a filet mignon. And a lobster tail. Well, it's just me and my wife. So if we're going to go big, let's go big, So every year we get, anywhere from an 8 to 10 pound lobster tail. We would get anywhere from maybe a 6 to 8 ounce filet, huge baked potato, and like corn and bread rolls and stuff like that. And that was our dinner. Oh, feast of kings. As I'm sitting here rubbing my belly. But this year we got another mouth to feed here in the house, which is my dad, and this will be his second Christmas with us. So I don't know what we did last year. I absolutely have no idea what we did last year. I think we did a standing rib roast last year. All the years start blending together here. The older you get, I guess. But Publix every year has, now Publix is a big fancy grocery store here in the Southeast. And so they have 50% off. So it's $6.99 a pound for the standing rib roast, which I found out the other day. It's also called prime rib, but it's got a bone in it. I'm like, I've never heard it called a prime rib. I've always called it a standing rib roast. And the people that always called it a prime rib said, I've never heard it called a standing rib roast. Essentially what it is the ribeye with the bone in it before they slice it up into ribeye steak. So it's a big chunk, big long log of ribeye steak meat. So we're going to have that for Christmas Eve dinner. We sit around, we give thanks. Well, we sit around and have fellowship. And then on Christmas Day, we do like snickle snackle stuff. And I asked my dad, what do you want for Christmas Day dinner or snacks or whatever? He goes, well, Food Lion. I don't know why he sounds like Hank Hill. Now, Bobby, Food Lion has got spiral cut ham for 99 cents a pound, I'll tell you. So I said, well, get that, Dad. He goes, I want to contribute to the Christmas dinner. I'm like, all right, Dad, get the spiral cut ham. So he gets a big spiral cut ham and throw it in the freezer. So we're going to have like spiral cut ham sandwiches and just on your plate with some horseradish. And he wants white rice. I'm like, all right, weird, Dad. Never saw him eat rice in my whole entire life. I guess now he wants to eat rice. No, what screen am I on? I'm losing it already, Charlie. But there are a lot of things that you need to look for when buying a ham. Now, a ham may be one of the best centerpiece dishes for all occasions. This large, juicy fresh, juicy flesh, it's a weird sentence in itself, makes the perfect for holiday parties. No one will ever get bored with the dish. There are dozens of excellent ham variants, such as a Spanish jamon iberico. I know I'm messing that one up. All my little Latin friends are going, hey, que lástima. And so many types available, home cooks might find it difficult and discerning to figure out which hams they should gravitate towards or steer away from. If you're choosing a ham at the grocery store, watch out for cuts that have additional water added to it. You could not only be ruining the taste of your final product, but also losing money down the line. During the processing of hams are infused with a salty brine. Not only does it keep the juices in there, but also aids in curing process. This liquid is especially used when in excess and makes this liquid. This liquid, especially used in excess, makes the flesh mushy over time, creating an unappealing texture for what otherwise could be a sturdy, meaty meal. Be particularly wary of ham in water products, as the brine takes up over 50% of their weight. Hams labeled with water added are better selected since they have less liquid added to them, and generally, you want to keep an eye out for products that have no brine added at all. If you can't find pure cuts of ham at your local grocery store, you can opt for hams with juices, quote unquote, with juices, as they contain a small amount of brine. So if you're out there shopping for hams and stuff, sometimes you can order them. What was the Honey Baked Ham Company? I like a nice crust on my ham. I know that sounds really gross. So we're going to have spiral cut ham and stuff. So be careful out there when you're picking out your ham. I don't know what kind we have. I'll go out there and read the label and let you know next show if we got the one with too much brine in it. Now, once we get through Christmas and the holidays and stuff, there is a party that says it's been around for 100. Let me see. How many years does this stupid party say it's been around? I've never heard of it in my whole entire life. This party, I'm reading. Hold on. Let's not get away from me. This is the, nope, that's not it. Okay, so it says this is the 26th year. So I thought it was 126 years, but it's the 26th year. In Philadelphia area, there is a party that is the most iconic way to ring in 2024. And it's not the New Year's Eve party in New York City. That's not the most iconic one. This is on New Year's Day. The Mummers Day Parade is back and will be strutting down Broad Street January 1st. Here's the basics. So the party kicks off about 9 a.m. and then everyone's arrested by noon. You know, it's Philadelphia, right? They can't keep themselves off the goddamn light post. The parade kicks off at 9 a.m. on 17th and Market Streets before turning to City Hall and heading down the south along Broad Street to Washington Avenue. So if you know that area, Philadelphia people, you know exactly where I'm talking about. There are several Mummers performances. Now, when I say Mummers, it's M-U-M-M-E-R. The performers division that play a role in the parade. Fancies perform in beautiful, elaborate costumes that are bound to impress. There is also the comic wench brigades, the fancy brigades, the string bands, which march their musical instruments in tow. And the 26th annual Fancy Brigade finale also takes place on New Year's Day with two shows at 11:30 and 5 p.m. inside the Philadelphia Convention Center. If necessary, the rain date for the parade is January 6th. Hey, by the way, my birthday, and I had nothing to do with everything that was going on there at the Capitol. January 6th, if they have a rain delay. So this takes several places to spectate the event, but the event organizers warn you that you will need to arrive early, as they don't have ticketed spots reserved. So you can, if you've ever heard of the Mummers Day Parade. Never heard of it. And I've been around the world, and I have been around the world, but I've seen a lot of stuff, and I've never heard of the Mummers Day Parade. So if you're part of that, let us know. Go over to Prophet Radio, click Be Heard. We'd love to hear from you. Now, this mom right here, she is being heard all over the world, and she's getting slammed by what she said on TikTok over her kids for Christmas. She says that the mom explains the circumstances playing into her decision, and a lot of other moms agree as well. This TikTok mom is sharing her rationale behind not buying Christmas gifts for one of her kids. Tiffany Chesson posted on TikTok video last week. Now, don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. So what you hear here on your iHeartRadio, on your iTunes and Spotify, on your Spotify and stuff, we have the full-length video of every podcast over on YouTube. So make sure you go over there and subscribe over there as well. It just gives you another avenue, another media to enjoy the Deacon Live podcast. So check that out over there as well for the full entire show. Now, I'm going to play this video of the TikTok mom, and I'm going to switch cameras here. I'm going to turn the volume up, and she's going to tell you why she is not buying any Christmas gifts for her kid. Now, let me start out by saying she's holding a baby in her arms, and she's whispering like the baby doesn't speaks English already. So here we go. I'm going to play the video. Click this here. Change to camera 4. All right, hold on, lady. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, why are you whispering?
I don't have a favourite, I will tell you that for free. I'm only buying a lot of my kids' Christmas presents. Not this one. I don't have a favourite, I will tell you that for free. But this one is 3 months old. By the time Christmas rolls around, she'll be about 5. Does she need presents? No, she doesn't. She's too young to understand, appreciate. There is literally no point in buying her a Christmas present. I don't have the money to buy her a Christmas present. I'm on maternity pay. My friends and family are going to buy her presents, and that's absolutely a-okay. I don't have a problem with someone buying her presents. I'm just not going to do it for her. Next year, she'll be 18 months come Christmas.
Good math.
She'll definitely be getting presents then. But for this year, it's a no.
So tell me, I'm going to switch back to me now. So what she's basically saying is she's not buying any presents for her baby, who's only 3 months now, and by the time the video came out, baby will be 5 months old. So she is not buying any presents for her little baby, which are you really, Christmas presents, you're not really buying Christmas presents at 3 months old, 5 months old. The kid just needs stuff to survive. It just needs like clothes, maybe a little hoodie when it gets cold, some shoes that look cool, because if they start crawling or kind of walking, or they have like those walker, little toy where you sit the baby in it and it can kind of walk around with its feet while it's got a tray around it. That's fine. Now, if the parents want to buy or parents or friends or anything want to buy the child gifts, she's like, yeah, that's fine. She said, I'm going to wait till next year when the child's a little bit old enough and understands not really the whole Christmas thing, just can appreciate the gifts that the child is getting. I agree with that. If I had a child and the child was under a year old, that's the rule. Under a year old. If you are under a year old, by the time Christmas comes, the parent, should not have to buy that child anything. You are doing your damnedest right now. And she even said, she's like, I'm on maternity leave or maternity pay, because she's from the UK and they say things different than we do here. She's on maternity leave, so she's not getting a whole lot of money, if any at all. I don't know how their pay structure is over there. And you're just trying to you're trying to keep the baby alive. If you can keep the baby alive, that's its Christmas gift right there. You're alive, baby. See you next year. Hopefully everything will go well. But if everyone else wants to buy her like teething toys and stuff like that, by all means, Mima, buy the kid whatever you want. You can spoil it, but I'm not doing it this year, and I don't blame her. I'd like to hear your opinion on that, your thoughts on that. Go over to profitradio.com, click Be Heard, and we'd like to hear from you as well. All right, when we come back, I told you about the methane gases and stuff, and being vegan and being, meat eater. But you vegans just can't catch a break, can you? And I'll tell you all about that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that and the way you find us is go over to Prophet Radio. It's all one spot location. ProphetRadio.com, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. It's PROPHET Radio. You can see all the fine podcast broadcasting that's over there as well. And you can see all the social links and stuff that connects us to you and you to us as well. And make sure you get your predictions in for the new year. We got a couple shows left. We'd love to hear from you. Get your predictions in. We don't do New Year's resolutions. We do predictions of what's going to happen in the following year. And we'll play them on the very next podcast. If it takes up a couple shows, we'll play them on a couple shows. But get in there and get podcast famous as well. That's Prophet Radio / I think it's Be Heard. And it speaks right. You can be anonymous too if you want. Now, I was talking last week where they did a test between having twins and giving one twin a vegan diet and the other one a meat eating diet. And they said the only the only benefit of going all vegan is it helped with your circulatory system, which it kind of combos everything. You know, you're not as heavy, you have better circulation, and so on and so forth. I forget what the whole study is. You can listen to last week's podcast. I define it a little bit more over there. But one thing I did say was, you know, if I would be a vegetarian, and I use that term very loosely, no one's going to hold me to it, not even my wife. She's like, yeah, right. She's probably laughing right now listening to this. But, you know, vegetarians, you guys can't keep your greens straight. You know, every time I turn around, they're recalling this and recalling that because something's wrong here and something's wrong there. Well, this right here follows suit as well. The company Fresh Express is recalling bagged spinach over the concerns it may contain listeria. Well, shit. How am I supposed to get my protein, my greens, if everything that I eat has some kind of goddamn disease in it? There's a voluntary recall that affects the 8-ounce bags of Fresh Express spinach and the 9-ounce bags at Publix and the 9-ounce bags of Publix spinach as well in 7 states. So let's figure out what states it are. Is it not going to tell us? It's like a roulette, right? The recall was initiated by the Florida Department of Agriculture, tested random selected packages of spinach as part of its routine sampling activities and received a positive result for bacteria. Both the recalled the Fresh Express spinach and the Publix spinach bags have the product code G332. The affected spinach bags have a UPC with the last 5 digits. I'm not going to give you that. It's, all right, I will. 13204 with the expiration date of December 15th. And the Publix bags have the last digits 00886. As everyone's running to the refrigerator right now, I'm sure you got a whole refrigerator full of this. And the expiration on that bag from Publix is December 14th. So Fresh Express immediately notified affected retailers and instructed them to remove and recall the recalled items from the store shelves and all inventory. Even in the event that the customers have a recalled products in their refrigerators, they should be discarded and not consumed. So there you go. Well, I thought you were going to be a vegetarian this week. Well, you know, I was going to have a whole big old nice spinach salad with some spinach artichoke dip. But you know, the weirdest thing happened. They can't keep bacteria out of the goddamn spinach. So I'm going to eat this standing rib roast instead. How about that? I know. Now, in the same sense, over in London, the importers of coffee to the European Union are starting to scale up. Oh, they're starting to scale back. Sorry, they're starting to scale back purchases from small farmers in Africa, and beyond as they prepare for the. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So, as of December 19th, importers of coffees from the EU are starting to scale back purchases from small farmers in Africa and beyond as it prepares for the landmark UE law that will ban the sale of goods linked to destructions of forests cause of climate change. Well, if you believe that, okay, that's another story in itself. So the industry sources say that the cost and difficulty of complying with the EU deforestation regulation, which comes into force in October, or I'm sorry, not October. Where do I get October from? In force in 2024, meant it was really having unintended impacts. I got to scroll up a little bit. That could in time reshape the global commodity market. So they're having a hard time figuring this out. 4 cities are drying. Force cited a drying up of orders in recent months for coffee from Ethiopia, where some 5 million farming families rely on the crop. They warn that sourcing strategies being adopted by companies in advance of the law, increasing small-scale farmer poverty and raising prices for the EU customers. I see no way of buying significant quantities from Ethiopia coffee going forward. The German roaster, which buys 1% of the world's exported coffee. So because the beans are he ordered could find their way into the coffee products sold in the bloc in 2025, they must be EUDR compliant. The devastation, what did I say before? Devastation. They have to be part of the EU devastation regulation compliant. Under the EUDR, importers of commodities like coffee, cocoa, soy, palm, cattle, timber, and rubber, and the products that use them must be able to prove their goods did not originate from a deforested land or face hefty fines. Coffee manufacturer JDE Peets said that it might be forced to exclude some smaller production countries from its supply chains as early as March if they haven't found an implemented solution by then. Deforestation is the second leading cause of climate change after burning fossil fuels. So what they're saying is, you start clearing out land to put a crop in there, they're not going to buy the coffee from you. You have to prove that if you clear the land, I think for every one tree you chop down, I think you're supposed to plant 3 over there or something like that. I forget what the rules are on that. But aren't they just, I understand if you got the land already cleared out and they say, okay, this right here produces, 1.2 million coffee beans per whatever the time frame is on that. Aren't you happy with that? Are you clearing out the guy's property next door and say, hey, George, I'm going to buy your land over there with all the trees, but that's where my house is. I don't care. Buy that, level it out. Now you've deforested that unless you plant some trees over there in Hector's backyard to replace the trees that you took from George's yard. It's a weird circle. But we got other things bigger to worry about. I don't think coffee in itself, I think transporting the coffee probably has a big sort of dealing with it as far as getting it from one location to another. I think that's the issue you need to be looking at, not the deforestation. Now, granted, yes, you can't make more land unless you're in Bali, or not Bali, but Dubai, where they made those islands out there. But still, you got to look at the whole entire spectrum of the trade route that goes through. Now, we're still dealing with oiled cars or petroleum-based cars. And there's a lot of people that are saying, we don't want to do petroleum-based cars or gas-guzzling cars. They're trading a lot of their cars in for Teslas. Now, Teslas, you can say you like them. You can say you hate them. You can fight both sides of the fence as far as, well, do you know how much, we're robbing our earth from minerals to make these batteries, and it takes, X amount of this and X amount of that to transport these batteries over and put them in these cars. And then what happens when the batteries get too old and they don't charge anymore? That's typically the life, the batteries themselves have a life. Now, granted, cars themselves have a life, but some of those cars are recyclable. Have we figured out how to recycle the Tesla batteries or any of these batteries that they're putting in these new vehicles? No, we haven't figured that out yet. But one thing that Tesla drivers are finding out right now, that there's a new stat that emerges that Tesla bros align on social media platforms all around the world. Tesla drivers are involved in more crashes than drivers of any other car brand. For this analysis, LendingTree analyzes 10 million insurance company quotes involving 30 different automakers between the dates of November 14, 2022 and November 14, 2023. 1 year they did this study. The study reveals that Tesla drivers have 23.4% more accidents per 1,000 drivers. The EV maker is followed by Ram with 22.76 and the Subaru. Harry Pitts out there driving around getting in more accidents. That being said, LendingTree goes deeper than just looking at the accidents. In addition to the accidents, they also look for DUI, speeding violations, and other citations. LendingTree calls those incidences. Ram drivers have more driving incidents per 1,000 drivers than other brands, coming in at 32.9. For reference, Tesla follows close behind with 31.13. Tesla drivers also have more quote-unquote incidences than any other in 11 different states. Have more incidences than any other in 11 different states. Again, that means Tesla is only second to Ram in that category as well. It is worth noting that LendingTree also analyzes, don't look into the causes of the crash in question. That means it's not delving into any mechanical or technological issues that could have resulted in the crash, nor does it determine which party is at fault in a multi-car collision. While it theoretically could mean that Tesla drivers Tesla drivers are just especially good at being punted by their fellow drivers, the reality is likely somewhat different. So the study was released. Almost every Tesla ever built has been recalled as a result of the autopilot technology. The Highway Traffic Safety Administration has determined that the autopilot does not do enough to prevent the blatant misuse of the program, which could result in an accident for one person behind the wheel. So what they're saying is, you can look at it different ways, several different ways. You can look at it and say that, let me close that out there. You can look at it and say, well, Tesla drivers, there was an episode of South Park where it's like, hey, nice car. And they're like, thank you. And everyone's driving around these hybrid cars and they're trying to feel like they're holier than thou and doing something better for the planet. Oh, thank you. I'm saving the planet. But then you get the Dodge Rams and, first thing you think of, redneck, white redneck, drunk behind the wheel, smashing into people, right? Big truck. And then you get the Subarus, which are in there as well. So look at the people. I mean, there is a certain type of person. When you say a certain car brand or manufacturer or something like that, you automatically have this image in your mind as far as who's driving that vehicle and where their political stance is. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. You don't see a whole lot of Republicans out there driving Subarus. You don't see a whole lot of Democrats driving, a big Ford Ram F-150, whatever the name of that. I'm not a Dodge guy, so I don't know what they call them. Just Rams, Dodge Rams. Is that what they're called? Who knows? And then, you look at a Tesla driver or even a Prius driver, and you look at those people as kind of weak, kind of like millennial, kind of like, I'm saving the planet. I'm doing good. I'm doing my part to be good. Screw everyone else. I'm better than you are type deal. And you look at those people and you're like going, well, you might be doing good, but you're probably a moron when it comes to driving on the streets or driving on the roads and following directions and not following too close behind the car or in front of the car, behind the car in front of you, or wherever your car is based on wherever that person is. And it's just, So what they're saying is Tesla drivers, believe it or not, have their insurance is a lot higher than most people who have, let's say, like my dad's car. My dad's got a Ford EcoSport. It's like a little 3-cylinder. Now, if you were to see the way my dad drives, if the insurance company was to see the way my dad drives, his insurance would be through the roof. 2-lane country roads. I've seen a couple of tires come off the side of that road riding with him. It scares the shit out of me. All right, guys, when we come back, you want to win the lottery? Well, everyone in California seems to be hitting the lottery, and we'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We'd love to hear from you, and the way you can be podcast famous is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. At the bottom of the page says Be Heard, a little blue bar, has a little microphone on it. Click on it, and you can speak right into whatever device you have that has a microphone connected to it, and you can be anonymous if you like. And just speak right into it and get your predictions in for 2024. We don't do resolutions here. We do predictions. Get those in. We'll play on the very next podcast leading up to the end of the year. And while you're over at Prophet Radio, get yourself something for free. Fill out that little form there on the free swag section. Pick out whatever you want. It's not an email grab. It's just to say thank you from proud sponsors of Deacon Live and all the other podcasts that come out of that studio or this studio as well. So make sure you pick out something and get yourself something for, the little kitties or the big kitties for their stocking stuffers. We'll get those out to you. Now, I have a dream. I always say that, when you hear someone winning about the lottery, you always hear about, there's a story. I stopped by on my way to work. I stopped by here. I just was going in. I was sitting at home in front of the TV. My wife said we needed a gallon of milk. So while I was out, I grabbed a little scratch-off ticket and I won, $50 or $100 or $1,000 or something stupid like that. I've always said when I buy my lottery tickets, my wife loves the scratch offs. I like the big gamble. I like the tickets that get printed out, you know. Ooh, and I do what is it? Quick pick. And I always have, all right, babe, my story is, you know, you told me, you know, we got to get our story straight when the news comes up and interviews us when we win. You were yelling at me to go out and do this and do that. And I said, I had enough. You know, I had to get out of the house. So I went for a drive, and that drive led me to a local convenience store where I bought a slice of pizza. And with the change I had left over from the pizza, I bought 1 scratch off tickets. Well, that was $1 million decision I've ever made. And that, you know, that type story. Is it going to happen? I have confidence in myself. Not that there's any skill or anything to winning the lottery, but I think you know, sometimes you can just feel it. I'm going to win. I'm going to win the lottery. And the way you know that I'm going to win the lottery, I'm going to do one more podcast show, and I'll probably do it naked. So if you see me on the video over at YouTube during the podcast, if I'm completely naked, if they haven't taken the video down, you know I've won the lottery. So there's your note as far as whether Deacon Live wins the lottery or not. Naked show. I promise you, naked show. Now, this guy right here, California. Again, another winner out in California. If you want to win the lottery or something like that, you go to California. In the last 8 states, hold on, where's the statistic that I had? Powerball jackpots won by state. New York being the number 1. They've won 42 jackpots, but California is second right behind them with 35. And out of the last 10 drawings, 7 of them have come out of California. So what's going on over there in California? Well, first of all, they don't tax. There's no sales tax on the California when you win the lottery over there. So a lot more people are buying lottery tickets in those states. Florida also no sales tax as well, so you don't get hit as hard in those states there. So of course more tickets are being sold over there. So let's see what this video is right here. I don't know. But this gentleman right here, this is his story about how he won the scratch off. A lucky Bay Area lottery player hit the $20 million jackpot on the scratcher ticket bought in Hayward, according to the California Lottery Commission. Derwin Hickman, who works as a sky cap in the Bay Area airport, bought a $30 Set for Life scratcher ticket while he was on his lunch break. See, this is the story I'm telling you about. He uncovered the word life to win the top prize of $20 million. It was the biggest rush, he says, I've ever had in my whole life. Hickman added that his plans to buy his wife a house with the winnings and then buy his girlfriend a house for the winnings. The ticket was sold. And here's another thing. When you hear about tickets being sold, they're never at like next to Disney World. They're never at like this Grand Central Park area or something like that. It's always these hole-in-the-wall shit-ass gas stations, gas station gun and liquor stores on the side of the road. That's where you always find those scratch-off tickets to win. Not necessarily the actual lottery tickets, but the scratch-off ones are always in these little shit-ass places. Well, this ticket is no different. The winning ticket was sold at L&M Liquor in Hayward. The store itself will receive a $100,000 bonus. The Bay Area has had 3 other scratch-off winners, the official lottery says. Teresa Martinez won $5 million in a scratch-off bought at the Golden Eagle gas station in Morgan Hill. German Zapata won $5 million as well at K&H Liquors in San Francisco. And Tia Lean won $1 million at the Cloud9 scratch-off in Seafood City in Hayward as well. So that's what I'm saying. You know, you want to win a scratch-off lottery tickets, you got to drive out to these no-name towns and just start shopping. Just start buying lottery tickets out there, and you could win. You too can win lottery by following my direction, maybe. Keyword maybe on that. One thing California's got a problem with, though, well, where do I start? There's a list of many things that California's got a problem with. But one of the things that they do have a problem with is drinking water. They have, what is it? The Colorado River. And they show how much the water level, the water table has gone down. What's the one lake we talked about in several different podcasts where the water in the lake has gotten down so low they're finding bodies that have been in like barrels or sunken boats and stuff? That's how low the water table is getting over there on the West Coast. What are they doing over there? What are they watering their yards and stuff and not doing? Yes, they are. That's what they're doing. They're not set up. They don't have the right. Well, I mean, I could start in a lot of places, but they just don't have the right rules and regulations in place for the infrastructure that's going on over there in California. I mean, there's where people are just robbing places left and right because they said, oh, if you steal something over a certain amount of money, we're not going to prosecute you. Oh, you're not going to prosecute me? Guess what? Free Christmas stuff for everybody. And that's what you're seeing on all these videos, these mass retail theft rings that are going into these stores because they know they're not going to process them. Now, speaking of processing, California regulators on Tuesday clear the way for widespread use advanced filtration system and treatment facilities designed to convert sewage waste into pure drinking water that can be pumped directly into the systems feeding millions and millions of household taps. Yes. Proven technology capable of recycling wastewater for human consumption and is a concept once derided by critics as toilet to tap. Yeah, I know. Everyone's like, I'll take my winnings and go somewhere else where they actually have water. I'll take my lottery winnings and move out of this fucking state. The toilet to tap has gained greater credence in recent years as water-conscious California faces the worsening drought cycles and climate change. More than a decade in the making, regulations adopted by State Water Research Control Board represents a landmark in request to reclaim some of the hundreds and hundreds of millions of gallons of wastewater discharge that flows out into the sea unused each year. Oh, they're just throwing it out there in the water? Out in the ocean? Ugh. You guys got to get it together over there. Today heralds a new era in water reuse. Patricia Sinacropi, executive director of the recycling trade group Water Reuse California, said in a statement. The numbers of communities have been for years blending high purified wastewater in aquifers and reservoirs before people can drink it. The practice known as, in the parlance of engineers and resource managers, as indirect potable reuse. Reuse is what they said. In sprawling Orange County suburbs and Los Angeles, home to Disneyland, the upscale beach towns, and much of the drinking supply of 2.5 million people comes from highly distilled waste that is used to recharge the groundwater basins and eventually draw it back to the surface. So what they're doing is, it's the natural filtration. They're using the natural aquifers and stuff to filter the water, and then they make sure they put a couple drops of chlorine in it just to kill that last little remaining bug. So that's what they're doing in California. Toilet to tap, huh? That's what they're going to do? If I was to tell you, when you go to California, you smell the water. I mean, it can't be any worse than what was that, Flint, Michigan, where the water was coming out and it was like almost like Yoo-hoo, the chocolate drink. That's how the water was coming out of the tap. Over there in Flint, Michigan, they can't get their shit together. Maybe they should adopt the toilet to tap over there in Michigan, but I think it's the pipes that are giving it. The old cast iron pipes is giving it their color over there in Michigan. Now, hold on. Now, speaking of Michigan, trying to get their shit together, Michigan City bans gas leaf blowers, but in a unanimous vote. The city of Michigan has banned all gasoline-powered leaf blowers due to the noise and health issues. All right, here we go. Let's figure out why they decided to do this dumbass thing. The decision was made unanimously by Ann Arbor City Council on Monday, according to this website. The new law, sponsored by Council City member Jen Cornell and Jen Eyre, was up for debate for weeks. The 10 council members heard mixed feedbacks during the public hearing before the vote, including from lawn care contractors who say transitioning into leaf blowers by 2028 will cost the business thousands and thousands of dollars. No, actually it won't, because if you got leaf blowers now, and we're in 2023, getting ready to verge on to 2024, if you got a leaf blower right now, you're going to end up buying a new one anyway. So when you buy a new one, because they're not going to last that long if you put in hours on them, speaking from a man who had a landscape business for a while, your stuff wears out. There's only so many hours that these things can run. So by the time you spend the money on fixing them and getting them up to date and all that stuff, you might as well just go ahead and balance to the plan of buying battery-operated leaf blowers. You got 4 years to figure it out. The 4-year gradual phase out is meant not to cause economic hardship on small businesses, Democratic member Cornell said, according to this local outlet. The new law will fully ban gas blowers starting January 1st, 2028. But until then, they will be allowed from October through May only. Is that the only time you can use them? I guess. Even when 2028 comes around, there are exceptions to the ordinance. All right, so here we go. Listen to the exceptions. So when 2028 comes around and they say no more gas blowers, then they go, but gas blowers will still be able to be used by contractors who do street, sidewalk, or paving construction work. They also reportedly can be used in emergency situations for health, safety, property protection purposes, and for post-emergency property restoration purposes like clearing debris from driveways, streets, or sidewalks. So if we're using these things and they're allowing gas leaf blowers to be used in these situations, do they not have confidence in the battery operated ones? Is that what they're worried about? Hey, Charlie, blow those bricks over there. I can't. This freaking Black & Decker with the battery, it died on me. Do you have a charger? Yeah, go hook it up to that generator over there. The generator runs on gas, and the gas is plugged into the charger, and the charger fills up the battery, and the battery blows the blower. You see where I'm going here with this? They said they know that the battery-operated blowers aren't going to work very well when it comes down to emergency situations. So why would they pass this rule saying that you can't use gas-powered blowers after the first of January 2028, when they're going to just revert back to gas, if they have an emergency? The penalty for the first offense is $100 and $250 for each additional offense thereafter. Ann Arbor is a population of about 124,000 people, according to the 2020 census. So gas-powered blowers, I mean, how long are they running? Honestly, how long is your drive into Ann Arbor? Hour, maybe, if you have to work there. So now you're driving a car into that place and you're firing up a gas blower for what? How long? 5-6 minutes, and then you turn it off and you drive to the next slot. And then, you do all the mowing and everything. They don't care about the mowers. Now, some of the mowers do have those big propane tanks on the back of them. Those are cool. Those are really cool. And then you get into propane or, we're fracking and natural gas and blah, 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 blah. We can't win. We did it to ourselves. And now we're trying to fix it. We're realizing that all the specs are now coming back. We've been a country for how many years now? Over 200 and some odd years. 1975 was our 200-year anniversary. And, we're 100 or 250 years old now. And we're just realizing the effects of all self-driving cars. Cars themselves have only been around since the 1900s or early 1900s. I forget when the first gas-powered car. And now we're seeing the effects of that. Well, we're saying that we're seeing the effects of that. We just need to slow down productivity. Not productivity, expansion. Everyone slow down. Everyone just stop. Let's take a picture. Let's keep it like this for a while, and everything will work out. I promise you. All right. When we come back, Google is going to pay you a shit ton of money, but you have to sign up for it. Yeah, they got caught with their pants down. And I'll dive in that story when we come back. Stick around. You listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? We'll give you something for free just in time for the holidays. And what you have to do for me, though, is go over to prophetradio.com. At the bottom or the top of the page says free swag. You can see all the different prize packs that we have over there. We got some magnets, some stickers, some keychains, some buttons. We got a whole bunch of cool things out there just for you for being a part of the show and a way for Deacon Live, proud sponsors of all the different awesome programming, awesome podcasts that come out of this studio. They just want to say thank you for listening to us and being a part of the show. So go over there, pick out what you want. We'll send it out to you as soon as we can. If you get it in early enough, you might have it in time for Christmas. And while you're over there, we'd love to hear from you as well. Don't forget, at the end of the year, this year right here, going into 2024, we do a predictions instead of doing New Year's resolutions. So give your predictions. You can say, I think that, Tampa Bay will win the World Series or something's going to happen or whether good or bad. Tesla's going to go make a car that goes into the water. I know they're working on it right now. Have you seen that? It's almost like a submarine. Take that Cybertruck, that piece of shit that can't go up a damn snow hill, and you're going to put that in the water and stick my child in it? No way. Not my child, but your child. Without his Christmas gifts and stuff. It'll end up like that one vessel that went down to the Titanic that friggin' imploded and crushed everyone. Well, there you go. See you later, Elon. Now, one thing, we're getting closer to Christmas time, like I said, and it's always good to have a little bit of money. Now, I'm an Android user, but I guess iPhone users would use it as well. Usually they have their own app store, don't they? Because, we don't associate with those people. We don't associate Apple and Androids. They don't associate with each other. Get over yourselves. It's like beta, Blu-ray, and regular HD disc. Remember those? You remember those when they came out? And eventually Blu-ray took over and was the champion. Now, you right now, if you've ever bought anything on the Google Play Store, you might be eligible for a payout from them. Now, if you remember, back in 2021, 36 states, as well as Washington, D.C., sued the tech giant over the anti-competitive practices occurring at the Google Play Store. They claimed that the company made it difficult for developers and distribution of their apps on the platform, discouraging users from third-party stores and even overcharging customers. The settlement was reached this past September between both sides, although no one knew what it entailed until this week. Now, Google has pledged to pay out $630 million to a settlement fund, which will be distributed to 102 million eligible customers. The company will also be paying an extra $70 million to separate the funds that states were involved in by using and will use it to their discretion. Now, meeting the criteria to get in there, it says that eligible customers need to meet the criteria before they can receive any of the money. First, individuals must have a legal address in the United States, the 50 states, District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. And it must be listed on their Google payment profile. Second, they must have purchased an app on Google Play or made in-app purchases through Google Play billing from August 16th, 2016 to September 30th, 2023. By buying a subscription does not count as an in-app purchase, by the way. At the time of this writing, it's unknown how or when the eligible users will get their payment. The details at this part of the deal should come out once the courts have finally approved the Google settlement. Again, it is unknown how and when this will happen. So let's see. Where's my math people out there? So if they have to pay, get ready for this. If they have to pay $630 million divided by 102. Oops, 102 people. Oh, God damn it. Fucking sausage fingers. I have to do the million so I can do the math. 1, 2, 3. Everyone should get 61 cents. Am I reading that right? No, $61. Carry the decimal there, dummy. Yeah, that's not too bad, right? 61 bucks. I'd take it, right? Wouldn't you? 61 bucks. You go out to your mailbox, you're like, oh man, I got to feed the family, I got to do all this stuff, and I don't have any money. You go out there and 61 bucks, you're like, woohoo, I'm going to go buy lottery tickets, maybe win something. That'd be nice, get a lottery ticket, and then that's your story. That's your story. I took the Google Play pay money down to the store, and I bought a scratch off lottery ticket, and boom, now I'm a millionaire. Now I own Google. I bought Google, depending on, because some of those lotteries get up to like $1.5 billion. You can buy part of them, can't you? Now, this lady right here went into a Goodwill and walked out $100,000 richer. Now, I'm assuming that Google's all nationwide, or Google. I'm assuming that Goodwill is nationwide, right? If you're not familiar with Goodwill, essentially what they do is they take all your garbage and turn around and sell it and make a profit. That's all they do. Now, Jessica Vincent, sometimes you can find some cool things on the shelf. She just started surveying the shelves in a Virginia thrift shop store when a vase caught her eye. It was shaped like a bottle and had ribbons of color, aqua green, amethyst purple, and spiraled up into the glass surfaces like stripes of paint. Now, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video, so I'm going to switch to camera 4 so you can see actually what this vase looked like. So there she is holding the vase, right? It looks like a regular big vase. It's got a top, and it's got all these like ribbon stripes on it. I would just go, okay. The piece looked old amongst the clutter of measuring cups, candles, and tchotchkes. After her adjusting her eyes, Vincent made out the words Murano and Italia on the base. So she said, I bought it thinking it would be beautiful in my house. So she said, I bought it thinking it would be beautiful in my house somewhere. Vincent, 43, a horse trainer, paid $3.99 at the Goodwill outside of Richmond. I definitely didn't buy it thinking, oh my God, I'm going to go sell this. Her thinking changed somewhat after doing research on December 13th, and the vase sold through the Wright auction house, the same vase. Oh, she did some research, and the vase sold at the Wright auction house for $107,000. The buyer, a top collector from Europe, wished to remain private, who bought the thing. Vincent's purchase came after years of pursuing yard sales and thrift stores with her mother. She loves the PBS Antiques Roadshow and had a daydream many times of this kind of lottery ticket winning level. I always felt that I had a good eye, she says, for unique things, but I'm really surprised that nobody picked up on it before I did. The vase was likely on the shelf only a couple days, given its quality and its quick rate of which products are sold. Each store averages about 2,000 new pieces a day, and they often come in from the cars. 2,000 pieces a day, and they often come in from cars' trunks. Like people drive up. I've donated to Goodwill, and I've just opened the trunk up, and they take the bags out, and they give me a little receipt and say, okay, mark that off on your taxes. It could have easily been someone else cleaning out grandma's basement. Well, we'll probably never know where the actual thing came from, but there she goes. She found this thing, this bottle, paid $3.99 for it. I would have haggled them down. Give you $2 for it. No. All right, $3.99. And then that's her lottery story. She went out there and bought this thing and did a little bit of research and put it up at the auction house, $107,000. Now, she doesn't get the whole $107,000. I'm assuming the auction house is going to take 20%. Then taxes outside of that is 80 out of 80,000, depending on what state she lives in. Let's say Virginia. Oh yeah, they're going to get her. She's going to walk away with like $12. She was better off just keeping it in the house. Now this video right here, first date goes horribly wrong. This guy in this video, it's a TikTok video, so I don't know if there's any sound or anything. Let's see. Is there any sound? I don't hear any sound. Nope. So let me tell you what happens here in this video. So this guy took this girl on a date. Her name is Sarah. And they took her to one of those golf places where they, it's all these multi-levels and stuff. It's like a driving range. Thank you very much for filling me in on that. It's a driving range. And this is a security camera of this girl, hitting it off the tee. Now, when she hits it off the tee, come on. You've seen, this woman looks probably, let's say she's older than 25 years old, right? Let's say she's almost 30. If you're 30 years old, you've seen someone hit a golf ball, whether on TV, whether in a commercial, you've seen someone hit a golf ball, right? Even drunk, John Daly, drunk as hell, you've seen him hit a golf ball. Man, he's a bullet when he hits that thing. This girl goes to hit the ball off the tee, and she does the whole, like, Little League baseball, like when you see the kid swing his bat and he spins around a couple times because the bat's too heavy for him or whatever, and he just spins around and then falls on the ground. This girl is at the golf range and takes a big swing at the ball and spins around. Now she's on the second deck. So here we go. If you want to watch this video, go to YouTube. For every podcast we do, we have a matching video that goes in correspondence. You can see everything in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. There's no volume on this. There's no sound. So here she is. Date night was a big miss. So here she goes. What could possibly go wrong? So she's pulled back and looks like she's got like a little body dress on. She's not dressed for the occasion. She doesn't have jeans on. She's not dressed professionally. She's dressed like she's on like a third date or something like that. She swings and spins around 3 or 4 times. Now she's on the second deck. If you've ever been to these places, they've got like little dividers on left and right, but there's no dividers in the front, of course, because that's where the ball has to go. Well, she goes right off of the balcony and falls down below. Here she goes. Whee! Bonk. So there's 2 guys down on the lower level. This girl comes falling off the top there and bounces on the ground in front of them. They're like, holy shit. There's the boyfriend. He's freaking out that she ran off and she fell off. So he runs down there to see if she's okay. I'm going to play it one more time for you just in case you miss it. And there is no sound, is there? I don't hear any sound. So there she goes. Spins around. Whee! Falls off. Loses her balance. Falls off. Lands on the ground. Probably sprained her ankle and stuff. There's the boyfriend. Runs back down. And here's the disclaimer. Happy to say that Sarah suffered only minor injuries after the ambulance arrived. I went on to score a PB of 284 points. Personal best. Sorry. Of 284 points. And so what happened to Sarah? Sarah decided shortly after to end our relationship. So maybe she's not into golf, guys. If she goes spinning again, boom, right on the ground. Boink. A couple guys are like, oh, shit. She fell right in front of me. So make sure you check out that whole entire video over on our website. Make sure you check out that whole video over on our YouTube channel. Just search DeaconLive Podcast. All right, guys, on that note, don't forget to get your predictions in for 2024. Go to ProfitRadio.com. At the bottom of the page says Be Heard. Click on that. Get them in there. Do your predictions for 2024. Figure out or tell us what you think is going to happen this coming year, and we'll play them towards the end of the show, or the end of we got one more show this year, so we'll play them on the end of that one. And get yourself something for free as well over there at ProfitRadio.com. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. My name is the Deacon, saying good night and good night.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.